Well, folks, it may have taken 2 weeks, but Donald Trump finally had someone other than Eric show up at his hush money trial in New York to support him.
Hi.
Oh God, Senator Florida man Rick Scott, how did he get here? What, did he stow away in the jet while Fat Fingers was dancing at Mar-a-Lago? Seriously though, why the hell is this guy even there? Is he there to bend over backwards in an attempt to become Trump's vice president? Or do you think it's out of the solidarity for his own past criminal and fraudulent behavior? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new here, and stick around as we unpack all of Rick Scott's blatant bullshittery.
I'm here because I've known Donald Trump a long time. I knew him before I was governor. I consider him a friend. And what he is going through is just despicable.
Yes, live action Mr. Burns is right. What Donald Trump is going through is despicable. Not only does he have to sit in a cold courtroom getting reminded of how small his ego is, but he can't even get a proper nap in anymore without being woken up because his sharts have gagged the court enough to put him in contempt.
Mr. Trump.
Now, if you're not super familiar with Rick Scott, you probably at least remember him from his titular role as He-Man's arch nemesis Skeletor, which is fitting because in a minute we'll start exposing some of the skeletons in his closet that he certainly does not want you to know about. But all you need to know for now is he used to be Florida's governor, he's now their senator, and much like Trump, his prelude to politics was fraught with fraud and sketchy business practices. So the two really are a match made in hell. For one thing, Scott will not only show up to trial for Trump, but also blatantly lie on his behalf on the Fox propaganda network.
Then he also said that Trump has never succeeded in creating jobs. Not only the Trump Organization, but he was also president for 4 years and created jobs.
Right, think about it. When Trump left office, the border was secure, the economy was great, and we weren't at war. This look, just in what, 3 years and 5 months, what's happened?
Right, much like how he hopes you forget his fraudulent business past, he also thinks, or at least hopes, that Americans forgot about the facts. Like when Trump left office, he lost over 2 million jobs, unemployment was over 6%, his botching of COVID cost over 1 million lives, and we were still fighting in Afghanistan.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
These are facts, and facts don't care about your feelings.
It's a crime in this country to use the court system to go after your political opponent. What's happening in this courtroom is clearly criminal.
Yes, exactly. What's happening in that courtroom is criminal. Nobody should be subjected to that level of Big Mac stench. According to the Geneva Convention, Trump's use of bioweapons on innocent civilians constitutes crimes against humanity. And that's the crime you're talking about, right, Mr. Burns? Because frankly, I'm being as serious as you are right now. You can't just forget a crime is a crime because you or someone you support did the crime. Or wait, no, you can.
While his company was committing Medicare fraud,
I don't recall.
he pled the fifth 75 times and wouldn't even confirm his signature.
It looks like my signature, but what's your question?
Man, how am I just seeing this? The parallels are truly uncanny.
So, Mr. Trump, I take it you are not going to answer any questions about your preparation today with your counsel.
Should I say this, or should I respond to that?
Just read that.
For all of the reasons provided in my answer, which is incorporated herein, in its entirety, I decline to answer the question. Same answer. 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 Same answer.
But let's get to the heart of the BS here, because in addition to flat out lying,
Look, we know that President Biden can't win this election fair and square. He has nothing to run on. And we know President Trump has a record. He secured the border. He had a great economy. We weren't at war.
need I really go into any detail about how both of those claims are so false I'm surprised his pants aren't on fire? On top of all his verbal diarrhea, he also attempted to partake in some revisionist history about his own dubious past.
This is nothing about Stormy Daniels. Let's remember what this case is about. They're trying to prosecute this president for how an expense was the records were done. That's all there was. It's nothing about her. I'm fed up. I watched what happened to me and my company. I've watched what's happened. I've talked to business people over the years, what's happened to them when you have political persecution.
Oh, okay, so committing Medicare fraud and then having to settle for $1.7 billion is political persecution. Let's let's take a step back there because that whole situation reeks more than Trump's diaper. Here's a quick reminder about why Rick Scott is no longer running a business and is now a senator instead. Because clearly, if you fail at business for committing fraud in America, you're basically guaranteed to succeed in politics.
It is one of the biggest criminal investigations of an American corporation ever.
We're executing a search warrant.
In the past few months, hundreds of federal agents have raided at least 70 of Colombia's hospitals and offices in 7 states.
Rick Scott promised explosive growth to shareholders, but to insiders, Rick Scott could be ruthless.
They seem to care more about profits than medicine.
Good old-fashioned fraud, lying for money.
Over the last decade, Colombia has made its stockholders and executives rich.
The company cheated the Medicare program, and they knew what they were doing.
Regularly filing false Medicare reports and overcharging the government.
Charging the government for everything from Kentucky Derby tickets to country club memberships.
False claims submitted to the government year after year over the course of hundreds of hospitals. Their promotions depended on it. Their bonuses depended on it.
For-profit hospital chain HCA, formerly called Columbia HCA, will plead guilty to criminal conduct.
$745 million to settle charges of fraud in Medicare billing.
Rick Scott and 5 other top corporate executives have resigned, and federal investigators told ABC News today that Scott is now considered a prime target of the investigation. Scott could not be reached for comment.
Well, clearly he couldn't be reached for comment. Snake Mountain famously didn't have very good pager service. And I wish I had the time to read you this laundry list of the things the hospital pled guilty to, but I'll leave it up here in case you want to pause and read through it because it is jam-packed with horrendous crimes. Which helps explain why this is the warm welcome Rick Scott got from one of his constituents in a Florida Starbucks one time. Psych, I can't play the content because it's copyrighted for some reason, but essentially, she's yelling at Rick Scott, stopping him from getting a coffee. She says, "You cut Medicaid so I couldn't get Obamacare. You're an a-hole. You should be ashamed to show your face around here." She gave him an earful about his healthcare policies. She said, "You stripped women of access to public healthcare. Shame on you, Rick Scott. You are an embarrassment to our state." Pretty great video. I don't know why it's copyright stricken, but whatever. It was also incredibly cathartic to finally see a Republican taking their own advice to stop spending so much money on Starbucks iced coffee. That woman is a hero. She single-handedly saved the national debt. So that's where we are with MAGA Republicans, folks. One criminal comes to support another criminal while claiming the justice system is run by criminals because they're holding criminals accountable. Feel stupid yet? Good. That's how MAGA Republicans are made.
I'm proud of him for standing up for all of us, because guess what? It's not going to end with him. They can go after any one of us if they want to, and you do not have the resources to do it. They can go after the former president, they can go after you.
Classic Republican projectionism. You know, unlike you idiots, I am happy when a criminal is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, regardless of what party they're affiliated with. Because maybe if more of that was happening and we did have the resources, we'd have less people like you in office. You sick, lying, scumbag, criminal piece of... You know what? I will let He-Man have the last word with a little more grace.
You're a loser, Skeletor.
Thanks for watching, folks. Please do us a favor and smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and sound off in those comments to let the world know how much Rick Scott absolutely sucks. Let me know your thoughts on the whole situation. I mean, personally, I feel like having a guy like this defend you at a criminal trial is the absolute worst look you could have. So I think I'm okay with it. If you'd like to support us schooling these MAGA Republican criminal morons, our Patreon link is in the description. Thank you so much for being here. Your support means the world, and it also helps us expose these criminals for who they really are. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hess, and I'll see you all in the next one.